How to improve communication in parents and co-parents.
Hi, I'm Lauren Selby.
And I'm Jamie Selby.
And we've got 3 beautiful kids, Jackson, Alara and Tobias.
And we're currently travelling the world.
We're trying to show you how to live the ultimate life by living life the way that you want to. I don't know what you mean.
What are you talking about?
Well, I don't really get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about.
So how do we fix it?
I don't know, because I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well,
What are you talking about?
I've got a problem and I'm going to go to the doctors, but I don't know what my problem is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
So you've got a problem and you get to the doctors, but you don't know what the problem is.
Yeah. So what's your problem?
I don't know. What's your problem?
Okay, so a lot of the time we end up arguing or shouting at each other or shouting at the kids because we're highly strung as parents when, you know, we've got a lot of stress, a lot of things going off, a lot of balance and responsibilities, but actually we're not talking about it. We're holding it all in and we're not telling people or our partner or our co-parent how we're feeling and what we need help with. So how do you ask me for help?
Just ask you.
But you don't give me a time. So occasionally I will say to you, can you take the bins out? Let's take this for an example. So when we were in the house, we had obviously various amount of chores, responsibilities, and I would say to Jamie, can you take the bins out? And he would say,
Yes.
3 days later, the bins were not taken out and I was stressing because they're overflowing. And I said, Jay, can you take the bins out please? And you said,
Yes.
and another day later I go and take them out myself. So, you know, the communication is that yes, he will take the bins out, but not on my time scale. So what we've decided to do that works for us is actually talk about what we want, but also say, when could you do this for me?
I also feel like Lauren has this tendency to go, I need to take the bins out. Jamie, I really need to take the bins out. And what are you actually trying to say?
Can you take the bins out for me? Because I don't want to do it.
Yes.
So you can see here, obviously, this is quite a big breakdown in our communication, and everything to do with communication is actually to do with managing our expectations. So I'm not managing Jamie's expectations by saying, well, I'm expecting you to go and take the bins out today. And he's not managing my expectations by saying, I'm going to take the bins out for you, but not until Wednesday when it's bin day.
Yeah, and it's also the cryptic messages. I think men are from Mars and women are from Venus. You know, we communicate different languages, and I think you have to understand your communication language between each other, because, you know, there's lots of things that we have to do as human beings. You know, we talked about that in our chores video, but, you know, when it comes to communication, I like to think of it, you know, we've got 2 ears and we've got 1 mouth, so use it in proportion. So use our 2 ears, so twice as much as we talk, and communication will therefore improve. But what Lauren's saying is also about expectations, because although our communication may improve by using our 2 ears and 1 mouth, if we're not managing each other's expectations, even if I'm actively listening to her and her telling me about how she needs to take the bins out and how she needs to change Alara's nappy and how she needs to make the beds, what she's actually trying to tell me is that she would like me to take the bins out right now. She would like me to go and change Alara's nappy.
Or help me,
Yeah.
or give me some, I don't know, reassurance that you are there and you are going to do something for me. Or as a woman, you know, we talk about the book, but as a woman, it's in our nature to want to express, talk it out, and we have to get out what we're feeling inside so that we can listen to ourselves. Because as a woman, you want to talk it out so you actually listen and understand what it is that you wanted to say. And our women's brains go like this, backwards, forwards. And you'll find this, you know, as a woman.
No, it's like that.
As a woman.
That's why you can multitask.
Yeah. As a woman, you'll go in the supermarket and you'll go around the supermarket and then you're like, oh, I need this. And then you go back, oh, no, I need that. Oh, actually, I should have got this, should have got that. And you already went in for milk and you come out with like a, you know, 30 quid bill afterwards. But as a man, I asked Jamie to go and get some milk. He walks in the shop, he picks up milk, he looks at the prices of which one's the cheapest or most, you know, economical. And then he walks out with the milk, obviously pays for it. But the difference is...
I steal it. I steal it.
The men actually have that lateral thinking, and the
But I think this is also important.
Toby.
No, thank you. I think, Toby's trying to get our attention now, so he's trying to communicate with us in the only way he knows how to, and that's being silly or doing something rather stupid.
Tobias.
I say rather stupid because he's now trying to push a sandbag off, and if it, I don't even know what he's doing. I really
Tobias,
don't.
would you like my attention? Tobias, would you like some attention? Come here. Come here, it's important.
What's the matter?
I'm going to put this in the water to see if it turns into little pieces of steak as well.
That's a great idea.
that's a
If
good
you want
idea.
my attention, please ask for it.
But yeah, when you're communicating with children, when you're communicating with peers, when you're communicating with your wife, again, it's just being very clear on what your expectations are, because otherwise you're always going to be disappointed. So Lauren and I have spoken about this in great length about how she's implied communication. So she said, like I say, oh, I really need to take the bins out, and oh, I really need to do this, and oh, I really need to do that. And what she really wants is she'd like me to help. Well, she wouldn't even like me to help, she wants me to do it. Because again, my communication when it comes to help is that's me going to help you. I'm going to assist you in that task. So if that's taking the bins out, maybe she ties a knot in it and then I take it out. But yeah, but it's my understanding of the word help. If you want me to do something, is Jamie, could you take the bins out for me, please? So I think it's great doing this video because we're expressing our communication style, but with the children, what we've said is almost key, is touch.
Yeah, so if one of them want our attention and we're filming or we're doing something else, or let's say I'm with Alara and Toby needs me or wants me,
Yeah.
we've asked him to touch our hand, and then we're going to touch his hand back to recognise that we're listening and we're going to be with you in a minute. But it's really difficult with kids, especially the ones that are younger age like Alara and Jackson. They can't always voice what they want to say or what they want to do, and we're trying to say to them, we're expecting you to tell us what you want,
Yeah.
but they can't tell us what they want, and they're expecting us to know what they want. So it's exactly the same.
Yeah.
So for us, I think of it as a bit of a triangle, and the fact that we have to talk about what it is that we want and express what we want and what we need.
Yeah.
We have to listen to what other people want and need, and actually take that in. And we don't have to give a solution to that problem. We have to listen and ask them, what would you like me to do about that? Would you like me to give you a solution?
Yeah.
Would you like me to give you some advice? Or would you like me to go do it for you? And it's the same in business. Do you want it done for you, done with you, or do you want to do it yourself? So this is how we're managing it with our family, the fact that there's only 2 of us and 3 kids, and how we're kind of trying to work it out as we go along. And it's more, for me, the part that we're missing is taking action. So listening and talking and taking action. So if I said to Jamie, I really need to take the bins out, aka Jay, will you take the bins out for me please now? I expect him to then take the bins out now. If he says to me, Lauren, I'm just finishing this, I'll take the bins out by 7 o'clock, or tomorrow, I'll take the bins out before the bin company come and collect the bins. It's managing my expectations, because I've asked him to do something and then now he's told me, yes, I'll do it at this time. Same with Tobias. He's now learning from us because we're role modelling it, and he's saying, I hate that saying, in a minute, I'll be there in a minute baby, I'm working, just give me a minute. So now it's like, Tobias, let me finish what I'm doing and then I'll be right with you. I don't know how long it's going to take, let's say between 5 minutes and 10 minutes, but sometimes it will run over. If it runs over, I'll make it up to you, or we'll go and do something else. So now he's saying to me that, when I say, Toby, can you just come here a minute? Mummy, I'm just going to finish what I'm doing and then I'll be right with you.
I think it's important to say as well, like toddlers, so Jackson and Lara, so they're 1 and 3.
Yes, sweetheart. Touch. Come and be in our video. You're so important, this video. When I ask you to pause the iPad, do I want you to do it right now, or do you say, can I pause it at the end of this episode?
Yeah. The end of this episode.
And when Mummy and Daddy are asking you to do something, do you get mad at us if we don't do it right away?
Yeah.
Why? Do you expect us to do it right away?
Yeah.
And if I want you to come to me, do I expect you to do it right away?
Yeah.
What if you say in a minute?
Then you know how I'm going to be there in a minute.
Okay?
Okay.
Do you want to go?
Don't know.
Do you want some love? Would you like me to get the type of thing to hold the water, Daddy to get the type of thing, or do you want to do it?
Can you tell me what it is or you do it?
Okay. And do you want me to do that right now, or would you like me to do it after I've just finished this?
In a minute.
In a minute. Okay, so you get everything ready and I'll finish talking and then I'll come straight to you.
Okay.
Deal?
Deal.
And that's how to manage the communication. So we've asked him what he wants, we're listening to what he wants our attention, he wants us to play with him. But also, and this is real life, you know, we're not just stood here and somebody else is looking after our kids. Occasionally, you know, one of the film crew will help out or will pay a nanny, but this is what's happening on a daily basis. And, you know, Jamie and I are halfway through telling you something, communicating to you or each other or one of the other kids, and the other one's pulling us off. And I know, you know, most of you watching this have got kids, so you know the drill. How do you improve your communication? You know, what do you do? Do you sit down with everyone and say, you know, here are my values, these are our boundaries, please tell me what you want and need and what you're expecting from me? Or do you kind of go, ignore, shut up, argue, shout?
We used to do that.
We still do it occasionally, but it's not so much now because we're building these tools and techniques to improve it.
Yeah, but I think it's also important to point out that the person who you're communicating, I think it's also actively listening to what they say, but it's also recognising where they're at. So if I'm talking to Lauren and I know she's a little bit stressed out or she's a little bit angry
or it's that time of the month.
Or it's that time of the month, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about what I'm saying. I'm not really thinking about what I'm going to say, but I'm trying to rephrase it in a way that she might be able to understand. But that never really works. So I just have to kind of step away, knowing that the communication isn't going to get through yet.
Same as when the kids.
Yeah, it's the same with the toddlers.
If they're in reptile mode, if they're tired, hungry, anxious or lonely,
Like,
you've got nothing. This is a really good question. How do you know when someone's finished what they've got to say?
yes, that's a good question. I would say more than a 2-second pause. Because a 2 or 3 second pause, someone might be thinking about something, about what they're going to say next. And it's not always about what you've got to say, it's more about being interested in what that person is saying.
And I find it really interesting that, you know, when I'm talking with Jamie, I do tend to talk over him, and actually doing this film has made me realise that. But when I'm with my client, I'm actively listening, I'm engaged in exactly what we're doing, and I start counting in my head to allow them that time. So Jamie said he needs 2 seconds. That's not true. I've been with this man for nearly 20 years and he needs over 10 seconds before he's finished. If I ask a question, it takes him like 10 seconds to answer me. The same with the kids. We use 1, 2, 3 magic in our parenting style for communication. So I'm saying, you know, stop doing something by 1, and they don't, and I'm saying that's 2 and they still haven't. By 3, go away and sit and think about what you're doing. Yeah. And it's not punishment, it's just like taking time out to think about that. Are they not doing what they're told because they're tired, hungry, anxious or lonely, or, you know, are we not communicating it right? So it's important to take that time out. But I think as well, you know,
Can I add something now?
as a parent, your kids are all different and you have to do what's right for you and your child. So Jackson responds instantaneously to anything I ask him to do apart from the word stop. He doesn't understand the word stop at all. Or no. But if I shout carrot or bean or something, he'll stop immediately. And if I say, can you do this, he'll come straight back. Whereas Tobias takes 10 seconds. So for me, I have to be patient with him, and patient is obviously one of the key parts to communication as well.
I feel like it's important to share that we've had time to work on our communication, and the only reason we've had time to work on our communication is because we're going after what we're calling the ultimate life. You know, when we were living in a house and we were working 9 to 5, we weren't living out of each other's pockets, so communication was very scarce. So it's something we've had to learn on the go, because when we're in the van, we're with each other almost 24 hours a day. And if we're with each other 24 hours a day, there are times when our communication, especially at the start of our journey, was very grating and was getting us down, and we were getting really upset with it. But now, you know, since we've been working on our communication, it is getting better all the time, but we've got that time because we are going for the ultimate life.
Whatever the ultimate life is for you, whatever the communication style that you use that works for you, share it with the world. And if it's not working right now, what can you do to make your communication better with your partner, your kids, people you work with? What makes you what makes your life better? What would be the ultimate life for you? Because for us, spending more time together, learning our different communication skills, like this one. Laura, you okay? She wants to put a swimming costume back on, but she can't tell me that yet. Do you want your swimming costume?
Yes.
Woo! Where's it gone? But it's wet.
So again, kids communicate really, really well.
Yes.
Very, very well.
Do you want it on now or in a minute?
Yes.
Do you want it on now or in a minute?
Yes.
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 Yes, that means like right now.
You can have it. Yes. Does that make you happy?
Cool. Join us on our adventure.
As we inspire you to live your ultimate life.
Please like and subscribe.
But everyone's like, oh, you don't need help, you're doing really good. But on the inside, I was breaking, and it's the